What's going on, you guys? What's going on? What's going on? This be your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess, where we talk about celebrity gossip, hot topics, and all things reality TV based. I hope you guys are having a wonderful what today is Tuesday? A wonderful Tuesday, and I intend on doing the exact same thing, you guys. All right. So y'all know how we get down. Y'all know what we do. We're gonna get started at the 5 minute mark, but what's the tea, y'all? Um we got some Real Housewives of Atlanta videos dropping today. Well, I got a lot of lives to do today. Plus, I got not only do I have some lives to do today, but I also have like a pre-record to do today, which is like one of those web reality shows. It's called Real Life in Music, and I'm only reviewing it simply because Bando was on the show, and then Carl is on the show. And if you're confused by that, Real Life in Music was filmed over a year ago, before Chasten started filming, before the scene started filming. That's the show that they were on. So go figure. And it's just now coming out. So I will be reviewing that later on today. But I got some things to discuss though. Because Real Housewives of Atlanta is really giving us a whole lot to talk about. It really is. And I was just I think last night after we got done with the panel last night, y'all, I was talking to I think it was me and Busy and Sakina and Really B. We were back there talking. And I was basically saying, I said, y'all, we had a good show today, blah, 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 blah. Because I decided that when we do the panel, I won't be, because we had this conversation backstage and they were all like, they understood where I was coming from. I said that I'm gonna be a little toned down a little bit on like the panel and stuff, because I can get way too passionate at times, and then it looks like I'm screaming at everybody, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get my voice heard just a little bit or a lot of it, and it comes across a different type of way. So I'm basically telling them that the approach that I took last night, by just being just a tad bit toned down and just outright saying what my thoughts are and just placing them out there in the most respectable way, and then just saying what I got to say and just moving forward, just pushing through. And I said that's the approach that I'm gonna take. And Busy was like, well, you don't really have to change, blah blah blah. And I was like, well, no, I feel like I do. Because like I said, I feel like I do, just simply because of the fact that it comes across like I'm being extra sensitive, and I can't stand when people call me sensitive, because I'm really not being sensitive. It's just a matter of being passionate about what I'm saying, and it comes across like I'm just being overtly sensitive and stuff. And the word sensitive is just a big trigger word for me. Every time I hear someone say that, it pisses me off. So that's why I was saying that. That's why I was telling them. I think I like the way that I approached it this time versus what I've been doing over the last few months. And on top of that, I'm prioritizing like my rest too. So a lot of times when I'm on the panel, I come across irritable, and it's because I'm tired. So when I'm tired, I'm absolutely irritable, and it's a negative reaction. So that's why on the last, I think it was um, 2 panels ago, I wasn't there, and that's because I was exhausted, and I had just got back from Mississippi. Like, me and Bando had made it back to Atlanta. I think Bando had dropped me off at like 1:30 that morning, and then I came in the house, put my suitcase down, went to sleep, and was right back up at 4:30 in the morning getting ready to go to work. So I barely got 3 hours of sleep. And I had told Sakina, baby, I'm not doing it today. She said, no, don't. Just take a nap. Just get your rest. So, that's basically what it was. So but even though I did kind of take a little tone, I brought my tone down just a little bit last night. People was in the comments still saying I was sensitive. I was like, I can't win. I can't win for losing. But anyway, anyhow, we're at the 5 minute mark. So we're gonna start this thing up at the 6 minute mark. So what I need for you guys to do is 37 of you guys in here so far. What it seems like I got a chat full of moderators. I see I got Kendra in here, Ravine, Payne, Two Feisty, Catherine, Tessa. Y'all know what to do. So what I need for you guys to do is to make sure the chat is clean, make sure everybody's engaging, and make sure everybody is leaving fire emojis in the chat as we get ready to start this show off at the 6-minute mark. Okay. So we got 2-1-0. All right. Let's go ahead and get into today's show. So we're here to talk about some Real Housewives of Atlanta tea, and it's all involving Miss Kelli and Portia Williams. Now, if y'all been watching this brand new season, which I know that you guys have, the views in my reviews is showing that y'all asses is watching, and this season is really good. Even with all of the delusions and the confusions of it all, we're still enjoying the season. It's a good season. I don't think nobody should leave the show. However, one of the biggest beefs that's been happening this season is with these two ladies. It's pretty much what else happened? It's more so of a situation where it's these two beefing, and it starts off with where the origin story between these two is this right here, right? So last season it was Kelly's first season on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This was Portia's first season back after 2 or 3 seasons of her not being on the show, because I think after season 13 she left, so she wasn't there 14 to 15. She came back in 16, and so she came back, and one of the first things that Kelly asked Portia at Shamia's birthday party was, why did you sleep with that lady's husband? That was the question. Right? So then after she asked that particular question, it's been on like Donkey Kong ever since then. And so they'll be beefing one minute, then they'll be cool the next, and all of that other stuff. So we got back into this season where Portia was upset with Kelly about something that was stated on like one of those Real Housewives of Atlanta after shows that they do every season. It was more so about that, like one of those after shows. And after they did the after show, I think Portia must have felt some kind of way about what Kelly said on the after show. But Kelly felt some kind of way about what Portia had said, on that Amazon Live that she did or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? So it was a lot of, I felt this way because you did this, or I felt that way because you did that. It was more so like not a clear indication of why motherfuckers was really mad. All we knew was that they were mad about something, but we really didn't know what the fuck they were mad about. So that was pretty much the gist of that, right? So this season they come into the fold, and then Portia, K. Michelle, and Kelly, they sat down for like a tea or something like that. And when they sat down to have some tea with one another, literally some tea, Portia started it off by saying, you know, I really want to make things right with you. I really want us to be cool. I really want us to move forward. But you was talking about me messing with a married man, but you also have messed with a married man. And Kelly was thrown off from that moment forward when she said that. Okay, she was thrown the fuck off from the moment she said that shit. So when that came about, it's been like 1 minute Kelly says we're gonna move on, but then the next minute she says it's fuck that bitch, I'm from Memphis. Well, she don't say I'm from Memphis because she ain't from Memphis, but you know what I'm trying to say. So they've been beefing ever since. And on Sunday's episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Portia came out and she pretty much stated, because I think Kelly said that Portia was fucking all the Nigerians in Atlanta or something like that. Then that's when Portia put her finger up in her face and finger wagging, and they were going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then that's when she said that she was fucking the pastor. And you know you was fucking that pastor on that plane. And Phaedra, you know exactly who it is. And you know I'm not lying. And all that other different stuff. So it was like, okay, so there is something going on here. So Portia and Phaedra knows exactly who this quote unquote pastor is, but they're not saying who it is because they don't want to hurt the wife or hurt the family, because they know the family and stuff like that, right? So I'm looking at it like, okay, If y'all don't want to hurt the family, then y'all don't need to be bringing it up at all. Then and that's why it comes across like she's lying. So once Portia said that, now the people are online trying to figure out who the fuck this pastor could be. Like people were going on Phaedra's page trying to see who man could possibly be, looking them up, all of that different stuff, right? And so it was like, okay, all right. So now they start looking them up. People were talking about Jamal Bryant. People were talking about Pastor Keon. And then, but there's one person in particular that they brought up. And they talking about this Tankard man. Now, I don't know if y'all know him or not, but they had a reality show. And if I'm not mistaken, that reality show was on Bravo. What was it called? Let me Google it. I think they had a reality show. What's it called? Meet the Tankards, I think that was the name of it. No, it was called Thicker Than Water. That was the name of the show. It was called Thicker Than Water. And they were dubbing themselves as the Black Brady Bunch. And he was like I think damn. Okay. And it was centered by Ben Tankard. And I'm thinking that's who they think it is. So if I could find a picture of this man, let me see. Because he used to play football, I think, or some shit like that at one point in time. He is, okay, that's who he is. That kind of looks like he's on brand with something that Kelly would want to be with. And that ain't no shade, but we seen how her ex-husband looked, child. We already seen how he looked. So if she was dating this man, then I wouldn't be surprised that she was dating this man. I'm just saying. I'm trying to find a picture of him so y'all can see it, because these some little ass pictures, honey. And I'm trying to give you guys a good one, because this look like the type of man that you judging by the man that she was with already. This looks like her type of man. But like I said, I'm just trying to find a decent photo of him. Well, a bigger photo of him, so I can put it on the screen. Let me see. This him? Okay, I guess this will suffice. Okay, so let me put this on the screen, y'all. Give me 1 second. And don't you worry about why I ain't got no sheets on my bed. I'm washing my sheets. So this is the man that's in question. Ben Tankard. This is the man that's in question, right? Now, I ain't saying he's not attractive, but he looked like the man. He kind of reminds me of the man that she done already had. Like he kind of reminds me of the man that she had already. Just saying. Just reminds me just a little bit of. But I do know that that man is cool with Phaedra. And I think he's cool with Candy, but somebody just said it in the comments. So it could be a possibility. I don't know. I ain't saying that it is, but I don't know. But like I said, I do know that they had a reality show on Bravo a long time ago. I do know that. And I do think that Phaedra made an appearance on that show, or the wife Jewel made an appearance on Housewives. It was just something that happened in this show. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know. I really don't know. But we don't have no proof. We don't have no real receipts about this. So I don't know. But all I got to say is this right here. Portia, if you ain't going to put this shit on the playground, then you don't need to say nothing at all. That's just what I think. Like, if you're not going to tell us who it is, because like you putting it out there and then you saying that, oh my God, he's a pastor and all this other shit. Now you're making people, look up certain people and putting folks that ain't got a damn thing to do with nothing into this fold. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's just giving that. So I don't know. But however, we're gonna move on to Kelli. That's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna move on to Kelli because, like I said, Kelli went live last night to talk about these accusations that's been made about her. And let's get into it. I'm gonna put my mic on mute while I put my sheets in the damn wash machine. Let's get into it, y'all.
received some really disturbing messages, really disturbing DMs. And one thing I don't do is break up anybody's home or anyone's business or anyone's relationship. That is not my thing. It's never been my thing. Regardless what I have been through in my marriage, I was a wife for 11 years. And when it comes to cheating and when it comes to things pertaining to a family, that bothers me and that affects me. So I just want to say this. I'm not going to call out any person. I'm not calling out a pastor. I'm not calling out a name. I'm literally just telling you guys, at the end of the day, this is a show and it's all fun and games. But when I have people sending me messages about their families and their congregations, I want no parts of this, right? Y'all ain't gonna get me banned from church. I want to still be able to go to church, and I want to still be able to receive some really disturbing messages, really disturbing DMs. And one thing I don't do is break up anybody's home or anyone's business or anyone's relationship. That is not my thing. It's never been my thing. Regardless what I have been through in my marriage, I was a wife for 11 years. And when it comes to cheating and when it comes to things pertaining to a family, that bothers me and that affects me. So I just want to say this. It's a praise and worship, okay? So this list that's going around and you guys tagging these pastors and tagging congregations, it has to stop. Enough is enough. I don't play it. I don't like it. It's not fun. And these are people's real livelihoods. And I have had to deal with someone affecting my real livelihood on this show. Okay. So let's cut it out. Okay. I'm not a part of the Mile High Club. I'm not interested in a pastor. I'm not interested in sleeping with anybody's husband. I am very much happy with who I'm with and what's going on. Enough is enough, y'all. Okay.
Enjoy the show.
Like literally, no, seriously, enjoy the show. Y'all got this whole list of pastors going around. Y'all got pastors sending me messages and DMs and emails and at congregation. Y'all cut this out. Seriously. I mean, at the end of the day, y'all got this whole list of pastors that's going on. Y'all need to literally, at this point, make a donation on Sunday to praise and worship. Okay. So this list, because y'all, I mean, seriously, y'all need to make a donation on Sunday and keep it moving. Okay. Like enough is enough. I don't want any parts of it. I will deal with freak and fraud at reunion. Okay. And that's it. Let's grow up. Let's have some fun. Let's enjoy the show and just leave it at that. But leave me out of it. Make a donation to these people's churches. Okay. Receive, because y'all, I mean, seriously, y'all need to make a donation on Sunday and keep it moving. Okay. Like enough is enough. I don't want any parts of it. I will deal with freak and fraud at reunion. Okay. And that's it. Let's grow up. Let's have some fun. Let's enjoy the show and just leave it at that. But leave me out of it. Make a donation to these people's churches. Okay. All these people, all this list, Pastor Jamal Bryant, let me be very clear, y'all. And I want to clear that up too. I'm a Be More girl. I went to Pastor Jamal Bryant's church when it was in a, in a college auditorium. Okay. This man actually renewed my 10-year vow renewals to my ex-husband. Stop, y'all. Enough is enough. Okay. Candy, come back down here because these hoes is lying. And in the words of Jamal Bryant, these hoes ain't loyal. Bye. Because y'all, I mean, seriously, y'all need to make a donation on Sunday.
All righty then. So that was Kelli setting the record straight about the rumors that was placed up against her on this season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, right? So that is pretty much the gist of that. Now, this is what I gotta say, right? Because at the end of the day, it's a show, right? Like it's a show, and that's what we're supposed to be doing, is just watching the show, enjoying the show, doing whatever. But I think the only problem that I have with this particular situation is people sending like threats and shit, and her getting DMs and stuff. And I know that because some of y'all don't like her, y'all are not going to believe that people have been sending her DMs and all this other stuff, which they do be doing that. They do that. They do that. People do be sending DMs and shit, and just because you going against their favorite, or you're saying something about their favorite. Don't I know? But I do think that when it comes to that point, it is a little bit too far. Never mind the rumors, because that's gonna come along with the situation. Portia put that shit out there, so they're gonna talk about it, and you're gonna hear about it this entire season of this show. You got weeks to go before this shit is over. So you just gotta make do with it. But when it comes to the point to where you're getting threats and shit like that, I mean, that's a bit much for me. I think that people take it to a whole nother level when they do that. You feel what I'm saying? People do take it to new levels when they choose to do all that. You feel what I'm saying? And it's crazy. Let me see. Stan culture has polluted the housewives. It definitely has. No lies. It definitely has. Like, you can't even have an opinion these days without somebody getting all up in their fifis about you and your damn opinion. Like, even Twitter is the worst. Cause like, I post shit on Twitter all the time. And sometimes I just be sometimes I have random thoughts and shit. And I have like random thoughts and I post them on Twitter and stuff like that. And then it'd be like, at times, like when you had those little random thoughts and shit on Twitter, I post them. And then after I post them, it's like, okay, like, what's going on here? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what's the tea? What's going on? And so when I post them, they hop into my mentions and want to drag me and call me names. They don't know how to have no healthy dialogue without name calling and being disrespectful and all this other shit. Like, it's crazy. Like, I just be, because I don't really be on Twitter like that. No way. Like, I love me some Instagram. I'm always on Instagram and I'm always on Facebook. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Stan culture is annoying when it comes down to housewives. I think it's worse. I think housewives stands are probably worse than the barbs, or they on the same level, if you ask me. I don't know. Let me see. I knew that nastiness towards Drew would circle back to her. You can't be that negative and think it won't spill over to you. Well, Too Feisty, what I can say is the same thing can be said about Drew. I don't think Drew is no victim in this situation, just like Kelly ain't no victim in this situation. And the reason why I'm saying it is because Drew took it upon herself to come to that girl's restaurant knowing it was closed, did a whole video outside of that lady's closed restaurant just so she can embarrass her. And then weeks later, she's losing her kids and about to get kicked out of her house. Then Kelly comes back and she laughs at her situation. And then this comes back to Kelly. So they both are being nasty to each other. And that's why they're both getting shit flung back and forth to the both of them. Because ain't now one of them innocent in this situation. Drew was nasty. Kelly was nasty. Now they both got nasty shit that they got to clean up off of themselves. Hi, Scotty. You're absolutely right. I was in the background braiding my hair, but I had to say hi. Hi. That is crazy to send threats when they don't know these people personally. Yeah, they do that now. They definitely do that now. I don't mind, I don't mind a good defense. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind a good defense, because I ain't gonna lie. When Scotty Gang had stepped up for me a couple of months ago, I was here for it. Like, shit, I ain't know my people stood up like that. I was here for it. But I don't want nobody to get threatened. I don't want nobody's business to be fucked with. Like, that's the type of shit that I just can't get with. Because I don't want nobody fucking with my business. I don't want nobody fucking up what I got going on. I don't need nobody doing none of that because I got other shit that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get another book out, a podcast. I don't need nobody coming to me. You ain't gotta like me, but don't be trying to fuck up my shit. Okay, don't be trying to fuck up my shit just because of some saying shit. Okay, don't be trying to fuck up my shit. You feel what I'm saying? So that's when it gets too far for me. Let me see. Let me see. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. I would say I'm loving this season and I hope all the girls return next season. Good commentary and thanks for being unbiased. Thank you so much for that. I want to say T Ashley oh shit. I don't want to say your name wrong. But thank you, girl, for the $9.99 super chat. I really do appreciate that. I appreciate all of that because let me just tell y'all, and I think my next live is pretty much gonna be about, the girls and who should go, who shouldn't, all this other different stuff. But I do appreciate you noticing the unbiasedness of it all because I did make it clear before the season started. I'm team K Michelle, like all day, every day, right or wrong. But that does not mean that I'm not going to call her out on her shit or hold her accountable for when she looks crazy, when she's wrong. And I feel like I have held her accountable in every live that I've done. I feel like I have held her accountable. So can't nobody use that stand shit against me. The only thing that you can penalize me for is not disliking her, even in her delusions. That's the only thing you can fault me for. But you can't say that I haven't held her accountable for nothing because I absolutely have. But when it comes down to Kelly, though, like I said, I'm not on the hate train. I'm not on the hate train. I don't hate Kelly. And sometimes I feel like the hate, and that's another live for another time. But I do be feeling like the hate that her and Shamia get is really unwarranted. I still be feeling like it's unwarranted, and people can feel how they want, but it is like they get drugged for anything, to be honest. Like, I don't think that Kelly is doing anything differently than what Portia was doing last season with Drew. I just don't. And I feel like I just feel like with the Housewives fandom, when you have like a dispute with one of the OGs or the fan favorites, you're automatically going to be, drugged. No matter what you do, you're going to be drugged or you're going to be asked to get fired. Basically, in so many words. So I don't know. But I don't hate Kelly though. I just feel like she's doing what she's supposed to do on this show. That's it. That's all. I mean, hey, there's a place for Kelly, just like it was a place for Ashley Darby. It's a place for Kelly. Oh, not 64 years in jail. Oh, wait a minute, girl. Not 64. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. That's what happens when you look at Facebook and you're trying to see what's going on back home and you see that somebody from your hometown got 64 years in prison. $64. Damn. Anyway, and threw me all the way off. But yeah, so I don't know. It just goes back to what I just said. I don't know if these rumors about Kelly are true. I don't know if she really was fucking on the pastor. I really don't know. Don't none of us really know at this point. We don't know what true and what ain't. And the only thing that we can say is that she's trying to come out here and clear her name, but there's some people that believe it. Then there's some people who ain't biting it. You know what I mean? Like there's some people that slick believe that what Portia is saying about Kelly is possibly true. But only thing I can say is we'll see. She said she's gonna deal with freaking fraud at the reunion. So we're gonna see how that's gonna turn out. And I'm ready to see how that's gonna turn out. Do you hear what I'm saying? So it is what it is, but I'll be back in about an hour for another live. It's another Housewives of Atlanta live. So I'll be back. I'll be doing lives pretty much most of the day. And like I said, I got one pre-recorded video coming out later on today, but that's like for a web reality series that I'm watching. But I'll be going live throughout the day today because I didn't do anything yesterday. Only thing I did yesterday was the panel, and the panel wasn't even on my platform. It was on Busy's platform yesterday. So that's the only thing that I really did yesterday. So yeah, so I will see you guys in about an hour or so because I'm probably going live again at 2:30. So I see you guys then, and I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. Bye, y'all.